Um,
How are you, Glenn?
I'm good, Hal. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah.
So, how are things on the other side of the pond?
Yeah. I mean, we live in a pretty quiet part of the north of Ireland here, and it's very quiet, Hal. I'm looking out at the fields and from where I'm sitting, and it's all peaceful.
Oh, that sounds so nice.
Yeah.
Uh, how's the weather? We look like we're about to get a bit of rain here.
Yeah. Well, we had a beautiful summer solstice day here yesterday. Just it's rare to get wall-to-wall sunshine on the island of Ireland. Today it's quite overcast and a bit gloomy. But yeah, I mean it's a wee bit warmer. We haven't had a very warm June, but it's a bit warmer, and it's different from day to day.
Sounds
You're
like
in North
Ohio.
America, yeah, yeah, yeah. Ohio. I've been in the States. I don't think I've been to Ohio,
Oh,
but
you
it's
got to come to
it's
Ohio.
a continent. You live on a continent. We live on a small island. Yeah,
Oh, so I was going through your Facebook page and I was listening to some of your
yeah,
music and everything. How
yeah.
long have you been playing?
Actually, I was just thinking about this interview, and I had 54 years in total. 54 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So what I know, I guess
yeah,
when I think of, where you're from and everything, the first thing that comes to my mind is all the music and the culture and
yeah.
everything.
Mhm.
Was that kind of just born in you, the music and it?
Yeah, we grew up in quite a big family. Um, there's always the Irish thing going on anywhere on the island of Ireland. There's it's very deeply rooted here. But I mean, I grew up in a household. My parents loved jazz music. Sisters were into their folk music, and my brother was quite eclectic about music. And I was the youngest, so I absorbed a lot of musical.
Oh, you still with me, Glenn? You froze for a
Really
minute.
from my extended family and from the
Oh,
1960s, really, and songs. And it was a great decade to be. Yeah, you froze there too, Helen.
great. We're both freezing.
Yeah, right.
Um, but yeah, I was listening to, like I said, some of your songs and everything, and they kind
Yeah,
of reflect everything that's going on, like the summer solstice
yeah.
and everything.
Mhm.
Do you, when you're focusing on your music, do you make music about the things that are going on around you that are happening?
Yeah. Um, the solstice piece is I'm quite fascinated by the whole idea of light and darkness, and of course there's a metaphor in that as well. But yeah, I mean going back to what you said about where does it come from? Uh, I in recent years I've gone back and I've been listening to Turlough O'Carroll, and he was in the 1700s, but his music is played today and throughout Ireland. It's a big influence. But yeah, it definitely comes from. I mean, they use the old George Harrison phrase. It's within you and without you. Those things converge with me, and I'm sure for others too. You know,
Yeah. You say that when you grew up, your sisters listened to music and your parents
yeah,
did and everything. Did you have any particular influence or artists that inspired you?
yeah, yeah. Well, look, Leonard Cohen's probably my favorite artist of all time, and I remember listening to his first album when I was probably about 15. Um, the Leonard Cohen would be one of them. In terms of string playing, Andy Irvine, who played with Planksty, and he's I've gone to see him playing, even met him briefly as a fan. So he would be, as a string player, he would be a big influence on me. It's I was taught to play classical guitar at the age of 14. So a lot of my style of playing, finger style playing, is based on a classical guitar technique. I played in some rock when I was a teenager. I played in rock bands and we did gigs and things. I played electric guitar, and so it's quite a mixture. One of my best moments as a fan, or as someone who engages in listening to music, was I did Johnny Cash's stage security in a club in London called the Mean Fiddler in the 1980s. And he was, it was the whole June Carter Cash family with guests, and again that was an eclectic mixture because Woody Guthrie, I know that, well, Woody Guthrie is a huge influence on me, and so when the Carter Cash family, I'm picking up things that I know from Guthrie in the 30s and 40s with his style of playing, and so it's an eclectic mixture of a whole lot of stuff, Helen, really. I think if I was to put myself in a kind of category, I would say probably folk music.
Uh,
That's where I'm at now. But I'm trying to write little bits and pieces of stuff, and I'm getting my old classical guitar out, the old nylon string guitar out, and I'm going to plan to do a couple of little compositions on it, which may or may not have a classical feel to them. So yeah, yeah,
okay.
give you some
Um,
kind of an idea. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, especially Johnny Cash. My parents used to get
yeah,
his records out and play them. Oh, yeah, we were big Johnny Cash fans.
yeah,
So yeah, that definitely uh
yeah. Very big in Ireland. Johnny Cash was always big in Ireland. Always
oh
big here.
wow.
Yeah,
Oh
mhm,
yeah.
yeah,
It seems like some artists always start big off in another country or another place.
yeah.
And then in America it kind of catches on and catches fire and everything. But yeah, Johnny
Sure.
Cash was definitely the
Yeah,
man here. But
yeah,
do you have any, you said you were, working on bits and pieces
yeah.
of music and everything. Do you have any projects that you're working on right now or coming up?
Yeah, I'm kind of going through a back catalogue of songs that I wrote. There's a fair number of songs and a fair number of instrumentals that I've composed. I'm kind of working my way through them, but I'm also writing little bits and pieces. I probably will have enough in me to do a studio album. I've recorded 3 studio albums on my own. I've done work with other people. So I'm at the minute, I'm really at that stage where I'm reflecting a wee bit on what I've done. And, like yesterday, I just sat around and I was playing a couple of songs. And I had a guitar in a different tuning. I normally, well, play mainly in concert, but I had my guitar in a kind of traditional tuning called Dad Guide. And I was finding things I hadn't played. So that's the sort of beginning of a composition. So yeah, Helen, yeah, I'm sort of back in a kind of pretty creative mode at the minute, and I'm doing a couple of hours a day playing and exploring things. So yeah, I think there will be. I think I would like to get myself down to the studio in Belfast that I've used, Start Together Studio. Get myself booked in there at some point. But yeah, I'm in that mode of really of kind of writing and composing and doing different things and trying new things out, and exploring a couple of different tunings on me. So I play guitar, and I have an instrument called, which I call the Kazuki, which is an eight string. It's essentially a bouzouki and a guitar shaped body, and it's a sort of a different sound from a guitar. And so I'm working my way on the guitar, the Kazuki, and a couple of different tunings, and doing little snippets here and there. And it's going in a good direction, shall we say? Yeah,
Very good. Um, so I know here in America, um, we have a bunch of Irish festivals coming up.
yeah,
It's like Irish festival time. So especially in July and August. Yeah, we've got the Cleveland Irish Festival and the Dublin Irish Festival here in Ohio.
yeah.
So are you going to be playing any of the festivals over in Ireland there?
No, I'm not actually. I'm not booked into anything, Helen. I have played at festivals. I've played at a number of uh, I have done a number of quite low key small things. I have played at some festivals, and I've nothing really. It's a bit like I wouldn't go as far as saying I'm rebooting myself, but it's probably along those lines. I'm open to offers, by the way, if anyone's out there. Um, uh, I'm open to offers, and I think I will probably be doing some performances. Um, at this stage, as I say, I'm probably in the writing mode, actually, to be honest. But I'm open to offers. I'm not. I'm not great. I mean, some musicians are very good, and they should be good. They have to kind of promote themselves. Now, I totally get it, and they have people promoting them. I have done a bit of that in the past. At the minute, I don't have. I'm not being that pushy, but um, yeah. I mean, I will try and get myself. I don't see myself traveling too far from Ireland, mind you, but at the same time, you're asking me really about here on the island. It might be different. It might be different. I think probably when I have some new stuff like a new studio album out there, I think that would be an opportunity to get out there and play. And is that a cat you have there in the background? Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
she's very mischievous too.
Yeah, we have cats here, but a few cats here. I love them. So yeah, I mean, I think probably probably where I'm at the minute is bit of writing, composing, and then maybe talk to a few people I know and say, look, count me in for something or other. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of enjoying playing fairly intensely, and I'm kind of enjoying this phase of it. But yeah, the whole point of being a musician is you have to get the music out there, and and I appreciate you sort of you setting up this interview because that's very helpful too. Yeah,
Oh, no problem, no problem. Thank you
yeah,
for joining me.
not
Um,
at all.
so can I ask, like I said, I've heard a few of your songs.
Yeah.
Do you, in your process, do you come up with the title or do you just start playing something first and then the title and the music kind of just flow in?
Yeah. With me, it's a mood thing. So it starts with a mood. So, I mean, I was looking at my notebook earlier. There was a piece of music, a tune I've been working on, and it's definitely about the autumn. And my notes are some lyrics there, and of chords. So it's really, and I think it came from. It's sort of coming from kind of a jazz. I'm not really a jazz player, but it came from listening to some actually American jazz. So it really starts off as a mood. So I've got the mood. I've got a couple of words about autumn leaves falling down. Not most original words, but it's a work in progress. So really, it comes with the mood, and it sort of goes from there. I'm trying to think. There are probably occasions when it has started with a phrase. I wrote a song called Glen Dunn, and actually, I live in Glen Dunn, and it's a glen is just an Irish word for a little valley. It's very pretty, and a beautiful river runs through it. So that I mean, that particular song originated from actually an attempt to write poetry, and then I realized like this is a song lyric. So yeah, that came from the words. That one came from the words first, Helen, and then the music came. But mostly, I would say with me, it comes from the mood, a mood I'm in, or a mood around me, and then the music comes, and then so the words come. So that to chronologize it, it probably is the mood thing first. You know,
Okay.
yeah.
Um, so with you working on new music, have you kind of pictured the way you want your album to be when it comes out? Like, have you come up with a title, or is that still a work in progress?
No, I haven't. I haven't a title. I've got all those sort of bits and pieces, threads coming together. Um, it will be. I'm an acoustic player, really. I mean, I love electric stuff. Actually, I do listen back. Yeah.
Yep, I'm here. I'm so sorry, Glenn.
Yeah, I don't. Not your fault, Helen. It may well be here. It told me my internet connection was down, but it's working now, so shouldn't be that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, where were we? Um, you
Oh,
were talking.
you were up. Sorry, Helen. Go ahead.
You were talking about your upcoming projects and everything.
Yeah.
You want to start from there?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think I'm at the point, sort of recapping, where I'm in the process of writing and putting together songs, tunes, and then it's a matter of getting down to studio. Friends of mine have a good studio, and getting something put together, get an album out of to be released online, and then at that point maybe some gigs, some little festivals. But at this point in time and space, it is the writing process, But I have a batch of songs out there. I would love some other artists to maybe consider recording them as well. So uh, a couple of things I have done in the past have been used by actually a dance company used an instrumental piece that I wrote. So yeah, I mean, but I'm in the writing process, and as I said, I'm kind of enjoying that, but I know I have to break out of the room as well and go out there and do what other musicians do, which is you have to have an audience, So got to do that.
Yep. Um, so with uh with everything going on, um, with your work on your album and everything else, do you ever write? Do you just write the songs for yourself? Have you ever written for someone else? Because you mentioned that a dance group used your music,
Yeah,
which is very cool.
yeah. Uh, Not no. I think that I kind of some of the songs I've written, I had artists in mind. I mean, I have a song, an Irish folk song called O'Neill. It's about O'Neill was an historic figure in Ireland in the 1600s. And it was recorded by a female singer, a friend of mine. I played on it and she recorded it, Michelle Donaghy. She's since passed away, very sadly. Lovely traditional singer, but it's a song that, I could, well, I'm not going to start kind of canvassing names, but it's a song that I think that some of the well, major folk singers and traditional folk singers in Ireland might consider playing. I have a couple of songs, so I suppose in a way I've written songs with. I mean, that particular song, I could imagine some pretty major. Well, maybe that's a bit too ambitious. Some significant artists recording it with it goes well with a boron, the Irish drum and strings, and so I like Planksty were an Irish band going back a while who were definitely an influence on me. Um, so there's songs that I've written and work. Well, I have a song at the minute, um, which is actually I think was sort of rock band, and yeah, I have a little Instagram account, and I'll probably do a little recording of that just here in our home. But it's a song which I think would actually work really well with a rock band. I could and I might even record it myself with a couple of, I know a couple of good musicians who could actually fit into that piece very well. Good drummer and bass player and so on. Um, yeah, I think really I do write songs. I'm probably thinking of types of artists who could record them. Oh, look, I would love it, Helen, if somebody said, look, could you write me this kind of song? And I would love that opportunity. I think I could probably do it. Well, I know I could do it, but you know, we wait, we wait, and we'll see what happens there. I'm open to requests.
Um, who um, who would you love to write for? If you could write for anybody, does a name come to mind or anything?
Well, since you ask, I don't know what his schedule's like, but I have a couple of songs. I think Christy Moore would be somebody I'd love to record a few of my songs. Great artist, great. He's one of those artists that takes a song and makes it his own. And maybe I'm being overly ambitious there, but I love the cat. But yeah, I mean, he would be one. But also, I think just people who are younger, who are kind of even starting out. I mean, there are so many. I'm in awe of musicians who, and many like there are many musicians who don't really write, but when you hear them playing and you watch them playing, they're just absolutely brilliant. And so, yeah, to say, yeah, there are a couple of people I'm kind of blushing to name names, but there are a couple of people out there I'd love to write for. Yeah, and as I say, there's so much young talent out there too. Like many of these people write their own stuff, and some don't. But yeah, I'm open to offers.
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
Um, so do you see, especially with folk music and things like that, do you see young people embracing it more?
embracing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
playing
yeah.
it more, enjoying it.
I mean, look, I'm in awe now of what I'm seeing, and yeah, a lot of it is social media. I'm seeing a lot of stuff in social media right across Ireland, and as you say, in America as well. I mean, not just Irish based music in America. Of course, there's a big, the Atlantic crossing, phenomenal connection with the United States, and but I mean, like in Europe as well, and throughout the world. I had friends from Australia who were here a few weeks ago, and I played a few tunes for them. And I've traveled a bit in Australia, I've traveled a good bit in the USA. Loved the music that I heard, and I could pick up all kinds of influences. The whole Appalachian thing is, God, I mean, it's so viscerally Irish and American and back to front and all that. And you know, uh, yeah, I kind of get lost there in my own sort of rhetoric. But what I'm seeing, I mean, like even here in the Glens of Antrim here, there's a lot of very young traditional players who play together, regular sort of venues, and a lot of it's very, they know tunes, they know a lot of old tunes, but they improvise a lot, and they just seem to. I mean, I didn't get a guitar until I was 13. And that was very unusual to have a guitar at that age when I was growing up. But today, and I think it's a blessing, by the way, today there are people, young people playing from the age of 5 and 6, and we're seeing the fruits of that endeavor today. So I come across young people everywhere where I live, but everywhere, I think, where you are too,
Hmm.
who are just embracing everybody wants to be a musician, and I think that's a good thing. I'm an
Yeah.
old guy and I want to be a musician too.
Yes, I've seen on social media some of these young people that come out,
Yeah.
and it's like they come out of the womb with the instrument and everything, just being able to
Yeah,
play. It's incredible
it is. Yeah.
some of
Yeah.
the stuff that they can do.
Yeah.
So you were saying you got your guitar at 13, and that was unusual. Was it
Yeah.
unusual because you were older, or?
It was really, well, we were a working class family. We weren't poor, we weren't rich. It took a bit of effort to get a guitar. They weren't cheap in those days. I think probably my guitar cost about 10 quid, but that was, I don't know, $20, but that would have been, maybe that was a week's income for my family. There, you know, my part. I grew up in pretty troubled times. We're not getting into all the details of that here, but in Belfast in the late 60s, early 1970s, and I think my parents, they got me signed up for lessons after a year of me banging about the guitar, bashing it about, and I had lessons to learn how to play classical guitar, and there's no doubt about it that they were looking out for me in the sense that they wanted me not to get caught up in things that were happening, pretty nasty things that were happening outside. And they kind of, I loved music and that's where I wanted to go, but they really pushed me at that. But no, I mean, in the street that I lived in Belfast, there was an older guy who was about 18 and he had a guitar, but that was unusual. That was unusual. Um, you know, so like it's just a different thing now, and I'm glad for young people that it is. Um, yeah, yeah,
All right. So, Glenn, before we
yeah,
go, can you maybe tell people where they can find you, or maybe they want to check out your music?
yeah. I mean, I'm just checking my. Um, okay, well, I have on Instagram. I have a little channel called Folk Music with Glenn, so that's one place. I have a YouTube channel. Do you want me to? Well, if you, it's on the YouTube channel. Link is on my Facebook page, Helen, and it's also on my Instagram page.
Okay.
I did have 3 albums out on digital release, but the record label that I was with, I've kind of parted with them. We're still, the friends, if you know what I mean. But I'm
Yeah.
so the catalog of work. There's 3 solo albums. That catalog of work won't be available online on digital channels really until I would say about 4 or 5 months. So that all has to be released again. But in the meantime, on the YouTube channel, there are 8 videos with studio recordings on those. But yeah, at this point, it's Instagram um, and the YouTube channel, but that will expand.
Okay. Would it be okay, Glenn? Could you possibly send me a video you want posted with the interview? That way
Yeah,
people can
yeah,
hear your music as well.
sure. I'll do that. I'll do that very shortly. Yeah, do it after the
Okay.
interview. Yeah,
Thank you so much, Glenn, and thank you for taking the time, even though things didn't quite
yeah,
work out. We
yeah,
managed, but thank
yeah.
you so much, Glenn.
Thank you very much, Helen. And it's good to talk to a fellow cat lover as well, by the way, and and thank you. I appreciate your time very much. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, Glenn. You take care.
You
All the
take
best
care. Huh?
from Ohio.
All the best. Okay, all the best. All my love. You take care.
You too.